Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be doing a review of the Lamzu Energon Mousepad. This is Lamzu's very first mousepad and it is an absolute banger of a pad. Quick disclaimer, however, they did send me this pad for review and it will not affect my opinions on this pad whatsoever. But I do want to say massive thank you, Lamzu, if you're watching this video, for taking the chance on a small reviewer like myself and many other creators as well. But this is going to be the first product I've ever received from a company for review, so I really truly do appreciate you guys taking the chance. Let's go ahead and get into this. So first off, quality. The quality of this pad is absolutely insane. The stitching is very, very close to artisan level stitching. For their first pad, that is incredible for them to reach that standard already. So that is massive A+++ on that end of their pad. The base is very good. I don't know what material it is, but there's no slipping, sliding, wiggling, or anything of that nature on my desk at least, and that is a very good trait to have in a mouse pad. The texture feels very much so like spandex. It's very soft, very smooth texture. Not a lot of friction on the mouse. I'll talk about that more in a little bit. But my only complaint, and we'll get that out of the way right away, is the size of this pad. Now, I think a lot of that has to do with them shipping this mouse pad flat, which is also a bonus. I love getting shipped flat mouse pad. There's no need to like put your keyboard on it to flatten it out or whatever. But because of that, I think they did cut back on the shipping costs a little bit by making this pad a little bit smaller, which isn't a massive deal breaker, or it's not going to deter me from potentially maining this pad or suggesting it to people. But as a low sense player, I definitely do notice the length a little bit. I'm used to pads that are about this much longer. And when you're a low sense player, you're used to using your entire pad horizontally. So when I first got this pad, I was going off the mouse pad quite a bit, especially on my right side, which isn't a big issue. All I had to do was raise my sense, and after a couple days I was more used to resetting my mouse a little bit more often and just overall used to the space that I had with it, so I was able to lower my sense back down. But it is something to be aware of if you guys like bigger mouse pads or just are used to the more like 500 by 500 size, then this pad might be a little bit too small for you. It's the same size as the Vaxi PA or the GSR SE. Did I order those letters right? That didn't sound right. But you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the same size as those pads, and it's not necessarily a bad size at all, but it is definitely on the smaller side for me. I'd prefer it to be a little bit bigger, but again, not something that would deter me from using this pad long term or just maining this pad. But in the future, Lamzu, I would love to see slightly bigger pads from you guys, maybe 500 by 500 or just 500 length at least. The height isn't something that bothers me too much, but I know that does bother some people. So 500 by 500 I think would be a perfect size, but it is your first pad, so you get a little bit of wiggle room on that one for sure. But overall, the quality, like I said, is just absolutely insane on this pad. Let's talk a little bit about how this feels in game though. Like I said, the tracking at first was a little bit wonky for me because my mouse was going off of my pad a good amount, but once I raised my sense, it was fine. I was able to lower it back down once I got used to the length. And after that, the tracking just felt really, really good on this. I think this is going to be one of my favorite pads long term. And if they ever do release this in bigger sizes, I will be sure to buy one right away. But it's very smooth. It's very smooth, much faster than a control pad, but a good amount slower than a sky pad, which is the pad I've been maining recently. But overall, from watching reviews, I did think it was going to feel a lot faster. To my surprise, it's a very, very good balance of speed and control. I'd honestly compare it to hybrid pads in terms of friction and speed. It doesn't take a lot to get your mouse moving, but when you want to stop, you can definitely stop on a dime and get a good flick out of it without much wiggle at the end of it, like you would on a sky pad. Like if you've ever used a glass pad or a hard pad, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But honestly, it's a very good balance between speed and control, and I think the speed is very, very close to that of an Artisan Hein or an Odin Infinity or just any hard pad, any hybrid pad in general. If you guys have used control pads and you're looking to get something a little bit faster and you're kind of concerned about the rough texture of the hybrid pads, then this is definitely the pad for you. But on the other hand, if you do like the speed and control of a hybrid pad, but you don't like the texture, then definitely go ahead and switch to this pad because you will enjoy it much more than a hybrid pad if you are somebody that doesn't like harder, like scratchier textures. For me personally, I use the sleeve, so I don't really notice much of a difference with any texture. It does take a lot of friction away. So that's another suggestion. If you do not like certain textures, whether that's this mouse pad's texture or a hard pad or just any hybrid pad at all, I strongly recommend trying a sky pad sleeve. These sleeves are absolutely incredible. They take away so much friction, like I said, and just help you not feel the texture as much, which is both good and bad. Some people get a lot of their control from, like, you know, digging in, getting more friction from their arm. So it's really just hit or miss, but I would definitely recommend trying a sleeve if you're somebody that's sensitive to texture, just regardless. But anyways, back to the mouse pad. Like I said, there's very good control overall, but it's also very fast. You can get your mouse moving very quick. It doesn't feel too fast. It doesn't feel too slow. If you want something faster than a control pad, I suggest trying this before a hybrid pad, just because it's going to feel a little bit more similar in terms of how the surface feels to most control pads. Like I'd closely resemble this closer to the Saturn than most of the other control pads, but the smoothness of it makes me feel like I'm using a control pad with more speed almost. But overall, I think this pad is a very good choice, and I think it's going to hit for a lot of games, especially considering it is very similar to that of a hybrid pad in terms of speed and control. I think you get a very good variety with it, and you're going to be able to play a lot of different kinds of games with it without any issue whatsoever. For example, for me, if I were to go onto Valorant, I would definitely not want to use my Sky pad. I would definitely prefer this pad, which is something that would keep me a little bit closer to the smoothness of a Sky pad, but give me a lot more control for quick flicks or just all that good stuff, micro adjustments and whatnot. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are going to pick up one of these pads or are considering it, please let me know down below. And if there's any other products you guys want to see me review in the near future, please let me know. I will be doing a review on the Vaxi XE wireless soon, and the super grips from Pulsar as well that I have only put on my HTX so far, but I think I'm going to put them on my Lamzu Atlantis Mini later as well. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was helpful, and yeah, let me know down below if you're going to pick this pad up, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.